So I'm sharing my screen. Today we will see one of the important topic which is Git, the basics of Git with the Bitbucket we will see, and the Bitbucket Git we will use for the local repository and Bitbucket we will use for remote repository. Okay. So basically what is the need of local and remote repository? As we aware, right, to maintain the code, maintain code with the proper commits, reviews, merges, right? We need to have local repository so that we can maintain by default versions also. We can maintain versions as well. When many people are working in a single project, it is mandatory that we need to maintain a repository, okay? And it will act like a backup also. It will act like backup as well. Main importantly, backup also. If there is no repository concept, if we make development in local itself, Kali local mission only if we have, in your mission only if you are working, simple local mission if you are working, we will see many challenges. What are they? As a developer, we'll code here, and this is your local mission. And as and when you want to deploy it into a production server, you will connect to this production server and you will deploy your code there. Production machine, and you will copy your code from here to there. If you are a single person, if you are working, you will be keeping all the way. You move your code from local machine to production machine. Maybe by using FileZilla, right? Putty will help you to move files from one mission to another mission. Particularly for production, we use Linux kind of servers, right? So there we will use FileZilla from local machine. We can connect with the remote server machine, and we can able to push our code there. As soon as we push our code there, if we have a Tomcat server there, or if it is a Spring simple jar file, we should run a jar command there. So what we do, we will use putty kind of software to connect with that remote machine, and we give commands via putty. So whatever commands you give via putty, that will be executed on production machine and your code will start. But more than one, or as a team, if you are working on this code, it is important that who is doing the implementation, what code is implemented by whom. We should have that particular segregation, who is developing which module, which class developed by, or whatever the code which you have classes or files, XMLs or properties files. We should able to know did the change on that so and so file, or who added that new class, or who edited that existing class. And when multiple people working on the same code base, we should able to handle when me and my colleague, when we both are working on the same properties file or same class, Without conflicts, we should able to resolve our issues. We should able to merge both of our code. I should not override his code or he should not override my code. There will be many challenges without a version controlling tool. If you maintain your code, it is very difficult to maintain it. Lot of problems we will have. So if you read about it, problems without Git or version control. Software teams that do not use any form of version control often run into problems like not knowing which changes that have been made are available to the users, or the creation of incompatible changes between two unrelated pieces of the work. Actually, not particularly given, but if you place this question to ChatGPT, that might give a better answer. Loss of version history, difficulty in collaboration, lack of rollback capabilities, limited experimentation, risk of data loss, no code review support, inavailability, difficulty. Oh my god. If we ask for more, it might give. Documentation challenge, code confusion, no branching, merging, difficulty in code auditing, limited collaboration tool, no automation testing, integration, scalability issues, many more. Security risks. See, you can read through each. Loss of version history. We might do so many changes. Let's say something went good into the production last 2 months back. I placed some code here. 2 months back, I placed some code here, and that is changed with the latest, 2 3 versions. And I realized that 2 months back code is good. I want to go back to that old code. But as you don't have any control over your code, you might have overridden. You don't know which code you deployed it. It is impossible to you to identify which version of code you deployed to the production. Or else manually you need to keep backups. You need to keep backup folders. On so and so day I created a production release. So this is the production code backup. That's how you need to maintain it in local. Otherwise you can't find it. And difficulty in collaboration. So while we are as a team we are working, collaboration will become so much difficult. When I have same class editing by 2 3 developers for a particular task, I need to work on a same class. In case if it is a physical file kind of concept, I need to place my code here and you also placing the same file with the same file name. Generally, file system will do what? It will override with the latest code. Let's say here in this existing code, I have lines 1, 2, 3, and someone taken it for changes. So he added 5, 6, 7, and I added 8, 9, 10. He updated his code, and without taking his code, I updated my code. So what will happen? My changes only with the existing code 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 will store here, and the other developer changes will be gone. That's how simple local file will act, right? So we should not come into that such problems. If you have a version control tool, what it will do? If before me somebody committed code, if I try to override that file, it will not allow me. It will say you have merge conflicts. You don't have the latest code. You need to take the latest code from the repository and you should see if there are any lines similar to your code, just remove the duplicate logic, and then it will ask you to merge your code so that we can ensure that no loss of code. So such issues also will be having difficulty in collaboration, lack of rollback capabilities. Sometimes we realize that, as I was saying, right, sometimes I realize that some code I deployed which is not good, previous version I want to deploy. Sometimes what will happen during production day, we used to deploy our code and production might go fail. Let's say Swiggy application had one small change, they deployed their code into production machine, and when they see that latest version have a problem with the delivery management system, it is having a problem. So then immediately what you need to do, before that issue is addressing, old version of code you need to put it. So old version of code need to be continue as usual. If not today, tomorrow I can check the problem and I can able to deploy the latest version. So you should able to roll back whatever code you have. Instead of the latest code, the old code you should able to deploy it. And as they are saying limited experiment, we can't dare to get the code and push the code, and we can't able to do that you know in a repeated interval if you don't have such rollback capabilities. And the limited experiment, risk of data loss, obviously my code might override by others code if I don't have any version control. No code review support. If somebody wants to review your code, existing file might have thousands of lines of code, but you need not to review that code again and again. Only new lines, whatever you added, that code I should able to read. In general, if it is a simple file system, we don't know which is the new lines code that we added, what is the old code that we can't get it. But in general, version control tools will show you by highlighting the color. They will show this is the new code, this is the old code, so that easily you can able to identify it. And tracking also, inability of tracking bugs generally. If you want to track, right, during version control commits, uh, after your changes crs, or you may say your task id or bug id, you can use to commit your code, so that we can easily able to identify that particular so and so bug fix released into or committed into which branch, or what is the pull request of it. That easily we can able to track. Generally Jira numbers we will use during commits, right? So when we use Jira number, automatically your commit will link with the Jira also. You can play with it. Actually we tried Jira, right, if you remember. So you can create a Jira task and you can create one test branch in Bitbucket, and during commit just give that Jira id. You will able to see the difference. So easily we can able to track our code against Jira also. Okay, automatically your commits will link to Jira as well. Difficulty in release management. So as I said, right, you have multiple releases. This month I want to release one country code, and next month I want to release another country code. So I want to schedule my releases, and based on the plan I want to deploy so and so branches into so and so repository. So that will become difficult. Difficult means without having a repository, we can't maintain them, versions and all. So reduce code quality. Obviously, code quality we can't imagine. So every time old code might deleted, new code might added. We don't know what code deleted, what code added. Just blindly we need to believe the developer. Limited tooling integration. Nowadays, if you see Bitbucket or Git kind of softwares or version controlling tools, lot of integration supports with the DevOps and you know CI/CD support they are giving, so that we can able to do easy deployments. And when we ask for more, it is giving documentation challenges, code confusions, no branching and merging. So if you want to create branches, there is no branching, or we can't imagine all this. Difficulty in code auditing. If you want to audit the code, which code released now and what is the old code, we can't audit it. Limited collaborations, No automation. Automation test integration also we can do. Scalability issues, limited historical insights. History itself we don't have in a simple file system. So if it is a Git, we can see from the beginning, last 10 years data, 20 years data also we can easily see who made and when made it and by whom that code is written. Everything it will maintain. Security risk also. Simple file system is not secured, but if it is a Git, it will give private access. So only who is having access they can able to read the code or see the code. So they are saying vendor lock-in also. If there is no version control system in place, the database may become tightly coupled with the development tool and environments used. This can lead to vendor lock-in marketing, marking it as challenging, switch to different tools and platforms. Of course, all these are issues. Okay, and you can use a Bitbucket or you can use a GitHub for the repositories. Okay, so it is easy to collaborate, your code actually. So when you use Atlassian, right, it will provide you Jira, Bitbucket, and so many other softwares as well. So Jira already we saw. In Jira we see sprint based and Kanban based dashboards also, right? Now it is providing Confluence also for the documentation purpose. So the documentation Confluence we have and Jira service management, product discovery. There are many products. Bitbucket for the version controlling. So you can create simple Bitbucket account using your Gmail ID. You will get this dashboard, and there you can create repository projects. Okay, simply you can create a repository. We have been implemented one product software, right? Product management. We will link that code with this Bitbucket. Okay, let me choose a project e-commerce repository name, repo name, e-commerce repository name, product something management microservice. Do you want a readme file? Yes. Let's create a readme file. Default branch. I'll create a main branch. Main. First, usually we will start with main branch. Very first time. From main branch, we will create as a branching strategy. Remember, right? We'll create from main to prod, and we create UAT branch. We create SIT branch. We create a dev branch. We create feature branches. Any number of branches we can create. Create a repository, product management microservice repo it will create. So the repository created here with the default git ignore file and readme file. So we need to clone it actually. We need to clone it. So to clone, basically it will have security problem. What we do, we need access token based access. How we can get it? Settings, security. Let me see products. Go back to repository. Repository settings maybe. Yeah, access key access token. Create repository access token. So if you want to give all the permissions, read, write, pipeline we don't have, but usually if you want to give, you can give for pull request. Create repository access token, give a simple access product management, microservice access, create it. So an access token will be generated. So a basic repository now we are using. Let's create. Yeah. So we have generated access token, repository settings. I am audible, right? Yeah. So create access token. Generally with password you would able to access it. As I am not able to access it with the password, with the access token I am trying to accessing this repository. So to access this repository, right, this is a web tool. Your code will be stored into product service, product management service. Create. I'm trying to generating one access token. See, it is generating an access token for you. Just use this access token to clone your project. Copy, clone this repository using this. Now you can clone your project wherever you want. So here I want to clone it. So to clone it, you need git bash here. Download git GUI, git bash and install. So you'll get git bash, git GUI when you install git client. So this is local software. You need to run it in your machine. So click on git bash and give the URL that you copied. It will allow you to clone your project here. So my project is cloned. All the code is getting imported here. As of now, I don't have any code. Now let me place my code there. Actually, we created a project, right? We can put our project there and we can commit it. Just give a minute. It is loading. Yeah. So product service properties copy. Okay. Let me put it into a repository. Yeah. So this complete project, Maven project, right? I'll keep it there. So code is copied here. We are referring it from there. Maybe let me rename it. I will use the one which I copied just now. Product management software one. Let me import this git one. Existing Maven project, import, finish it. So this is the one which we kept it in Git. Okay. Anyway, our code is working fine. So it is showing right as I placed it into Git. Immediately see it is showing all the question marks. It is saying all these files are not at all committed yet. So that's why it is showing the symbol. So you may right click and here it will show options team commits, or you may open Git window here. You may show Git window here, product management service, and it is showing Git stage how many files are there in the change. So all these files are new files, so you need to commit them, all these files. You can do this from Git window from Eclipse, or else you may open here Git GUI also. Git GUI. So via Git to GUI also you can add each file. So I need form file, I need my Java files, exception class, global exception handler, product object, product report. Each file you can see here also what you have implemented so far. You go here and you can see them. Add each file, log back file, test file, everything. These files you can ignore. Maven files not. That's it. How you can commit your code. This is the first version. You may put your story number here if you have story number, right? As of now we don't have any story, but if you try to link up with your Zira, right? I think we created Zira also earlier, right? Go to Zira software, RPU cart, something we created, and there we have stories. RPU K14, something you have. Maybe you can, I'm not sure exactly it will shrink or not, but try to put that here and write any comments if you have commit message. Initial version of product management. So you can commit it. So as soon as you commit it, first locally it will keep your data, local repository. Local repository is nothing but your local machine only. So as soon as you commit, your files at least will be stored into local repository. Go back to your code and watch them. Product management software. See them. Earlier you have question mark symbol here on each class. Now it is showing Git symbol here. It is saying your files are committed. Committed but only into your local. Into your local Git repo it is committed. Not yet you move to your Bitbucket, which is your remote repository. Your changes having in your local machine only. But how others will see that, how others are able to review it. So to show or to give it to the remote repository, you need to click on push, and which we have created main branch, right? There the code is going to push. So pushing code, post git, 6771 bytes of code is transferred and successfully merged. Now what you can see, I'm not sure it will link if I maintain the. Ah, yeah, great. See, one commit also happened. It is showing 2 minutes ago. One commit is happened. What is that commit? From zero also they can able to redirect. Whoever is monitoring your Zira dashboard, right? They can able to go back to commit and they can see the changes. In general, right? If anyone wants to move from Jira to here also they can move. So it is showing your code commits. Generally, you can go back to your repository. So it is showing one product service file is committed with the story number also. From Bitbucket, you can go back to Zero also. Zero to Bitbucket, Bitbucket to Zero. So you can understand the status. How many hours worked, who worked, what are the challenges faced, how they implemented it, what are all other dependencies we have. That all easily we can able to sync. See, lot of help we are getting. Commits, what you have committed. So 3 minutes ago you have committed. So when you click on it, you will see what all files that you have committed. So here you can see total 13 files. Total 13 files you have committed. And say completely showing. First time as we added, right? It is showing completely green. First time files. So all that files you can see. Okay, created. What next? So as you are into the main branch itself, just you want to approve it or else you want to reject from here. So if you approve, your code will be stored permanently into your report. From here, branching strategies will start. Now we have only one main branch. Now others wants to work. How they will work? If you want to work on this code, what you need to do? You have to create a branch. So some feature branch for product management system, something I want to work. So feature means maybe you will have one Jira story. On that Jira story, I want to work. Some new change I have. So new change on product management. Maybe you can create it. RBUK, you got 6. Maybe using this number, you can create a branch here. They give an option to you to create branch as well. So from Jira itself, you can ask to create branch, which repository, product management microservice. From branch main and branch name. So auto generated branch it is showing. Let's use it. From Jira, this is the way that you can create, and directly you can create it in your Bitbucket also. Just use this create branch option. You can choose your from branch and what kind of thing it is. Is it a new feature or hotfix or release or a bug? And you can choose from which branch you want to create and what is your branch name. As of now, we got a new branch here. Very fresh. Okay, we got new branch here. Oh, source tree also available. So source tree also one of the software that will help you to manage the code like your Git GUI. Is it installing or no? It's confusing to me. I don't want this. Yeah. Now settings. How many branches we have? Active branches. All branches. Okay. This new branch also we got. So when you want to get this code right, you can go again to repository settings, access token, or directly you can. Actually, earlier also I have copied, right? I think I did not pasted it somewhere. Git bash. Maybe you can use the same token. Notepad plus plus. Hmm. So here just you need to put clone hyphen hyphen branch. Give your branch name. The new branch which you have created. You may give the branch name. All branches. So this is the branch name that you can give. I hope this should work. Try to clone it. Maybe a different folder. Consider you are working on this new branch. Some new developer doing it. So he need to go to his git bash. He should run this command. Oh, right. So it is able to pull the code. So again, you will be importing it and working on it. Maybe let me make it project 2 and consider someone else is working on it. Consider someone else is working on it. Just I'll rename this, but during commit, I don't have any problem. Now I'll import it. Why this branch it is showing fine. All these files are there already. Surprising. Okay, no worries. Now let's introduce a change here. In products object, I want to add a new variable, new requirement came, private string brand name need to be introduced. I introduced, my coding is working. My code is working fine. Now I want to commit it. So what you need to do, all the way you need to go to your folder and there you can open again git GUI. Where is doing this? Already files are there. Untracked, not staged. Thing is fishy. Generally, that change is already committed. You need not to worry about it. And I did do only one change that is introduced in products object, but it is showing entirely it is as a new object. I'm not sure if I get any exception. Acha, application name itself I changed it. Na? That's the reason. The reason I changed is I can't able to import here. We changed it. Let me delete it and clone it back. Just clone it back properly. Git bash it. Meanwhile, open a new editor. There we can load it. So new window got opened. ID is also generally will allow you directly from Git, but there are many ways. You can import it, Maven, finish it. Ah, now it is showing. See, all the all that is happened because I changed the completely project name. That's why I think that you want to create a new project. So one change I'm adding private string brand name. Then it is showing something arrow mark here saying that one change you made here. If you go to Git window here, you can see your change. Go to Git staging, you can see how many files are. You changed only one file, and what is there in that file. If you can open, right, double click it, it will show you what is the new file that you have added. So confidently you can review yourself what are all file changes you have done, and just click on this plus. It will come here. Put your commit message, or you can stash the previous one. Amend the previous one. So this is the previous one. So I can use story name, and as well as I can pass, or story number is 6 actually. Brand introduced. You can commit and push it. Push it to product management. Okay. Can I see the changes here? It is saying zero commits. If not happened there, go to git bash and do that. Git GUI. No change already committed. Try to push it. Product object. Brand name also there. Yeah. Push it. Push. Okay. Failed because the branch behind. When you feel like, or when it says behind, you are behind, what you can do, you can apply pull. Okay. Am I in wrong directory? Git bash people conflict product object automatic merge failed due to conflicts. Okay. You are saying it is conflict. Fine. So what we will do when it is a conflict, right? It will show you here. It will show you in red color. It will show you in red color what you can do. There is no way of conflict, but it is creating an unnecessary mess. You can create these lines that head this manually. You can move your code. So conflicts got resolved. What you can do, you can commit it. Again, go to the same folder, open Git GUI, just click on your file, commit it, push it, push, go. It should go successfully. Successfully, your code is merged. Now, if you refresh, this latest branch might have a new change 19 seconds ago. So now it will show you what that change you did. So if somebody wants to review it, they can review it. You can place a pull request, create a pull request here. What does pull request means? I want to merge this code to main branch. Latest changes I have done, right? I want to move to actual main branch. So you can put your comments here and who wants to review your code. So there is only one user here. We're adding. So once you add it, right, create a pull request. This is how it will create one pull request, and you can share it with the team, whoever is approver. So they will read this code, and if everything is fine, okay, or else they will add comments here. They will add comments here, change variable name to something. Now it is we have properly, but if you want to add something, brand name to variable name to camel case. So you added it. So whoever is working on it, they can see that comment and they can work on it. As soon as you worked it right, you can click on resolve and you can say please review it again. They will review and they can approve it. As soon as it approved, it will be ready for merging. Merging means what? I want to commit my code from this branch to main branch. So you can merge it. So all your changes now it will go to main branch. So merge is in progress. Merge, merged pull request. Now your latest code moved to main branch also. If you go to main branch, there also you can able to see the file, right? Latest merged file. You can go and check. 3 minutes ago, this file changed by this, and it is merged from so and so branch. That branch name, everything, the detailed information you have. So open the file, and you can see latest change came till here. So this is how we can able to maintain code properly with all the code reviews and branches, pull request, Zira integrations and all. Okay, explore it more if you want, but this is what it will do. Okay, so I think it helps you create a Bitbucket account and install Git local software and play with it as I showed you.